Welcome to Pivoting to Web3 podcast, where experts break down AI, blockchain, and tech shaping our future. I'm Donna, and today's guest has insights you won't want to miss. Let's dive in. Welcome to Pivoting to Web3, and today I have a really special guest because she's going to talk about a lot of what I want to talk about, the personalization and artificial intelligence. She has a company that's called HURO AI, and she has something else she's going to talk about, which is Gabby. But she's been a lot of places and spaces. It seems like she's run some business process improvement teams. She's won awards. And I'm just going to go ahead and let Cheryl Cunningham tell you who she is, where she's been, and how she can help us today. Cheryl, say hello to your audience and ours. Hello, Cheryl.
Hello, Donna. Thank you for having me. And if I go on about my entire background, I don't think this podcast is long enough for all that.
Well, I just know I'm really glad to have you on the show today. And you were mentioning to me about the AI, Gabby, who everyone's going to want to have. But before we talk about that, give us a little snapshot on how did you end up with Gabby or where you are today?
Donna, I've been an entrepreneur for 25 years. Yeah, I've been around
Oh.
the block. It's
Hmm.
it's been a eventful journey, let's just say the least.
Mm-hmm.
I've been an entrepreneur for 25 years, and I've had 7 companies. Most of them have been successful, thank goodness. But there have been a few failures, and I tell you what, across all 7 companies, it has been just uh sometimes traumatizing at times, right? Losing
Mm.
relationships
Okay.
because you have an entrepreneurial journey and everybody else has to come on along on the ride, or they leave because they
Mm-hmm.
don't want to go along on the ride and they don't understand the sacrifices, right? I've lost a lot of time with my loved ones, with my son, and so on and so forth. And so when AI came along, OpenAI to be exact, I had a little, idea in my head. And the little idea was, well, being an entrepreneur for 25 years, I've been trying to solve everybody else's problem.
Right, right.
I've been creating companies to solve their problem. When is it going to be my turn? So I
Mm-hmm.
said, I can see where AI is going. And at that time I said, I didn't I saw kind of the trend of everyone becoming an entrepreneur at some point in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Because now you can leverage AI to go pursue this, dream of being an entrepreneur that you've always wanted, whether it's a creator or whether it's a solopreneur or an entrepreneur, whatever preneur you want to be, you can leverage AI to become. And I saw that trend headed in that direction, but I also knew the difficult journey that they would encounter. And, I don't know if you know this, but 90% of businesses fail. So I said, uh-oh, well, we're in trouble. If most of us are going to be entrepreneurs and 90% of us are going to fail, having
Mm-hmm.
mortgaged our homes, thrown all our, life savings into the business, only to be, to come out of it empty-handed, we're in trouble.
Right.
What I want to do is I wanted to take my life's journey or my entrepreneurial journey and take all those, issues that I've ever had, all those, tumultuous journey and create an AI that could help solve all the problems that I ever had
Wow.
an entrepreneur. So, for example, if I had a hard time, raising investor funds, if I have a hard time finding employees, if I have a hard time finding clients across the globe. So that's what that's how Hero AI came about. So what it evolved into was really an extension of myself, very selfishly, right? I was trying to build my own AI that
Mm-hmm.
was gonna help me go sit on the beach somewhere and spend time with my family instead of, being trapped in my office, 20 hours a day, which is, the number of hours that most startup entrepreneurs spend. And So I went about, start building HURO AI's product, and we named her Gabby. Um, and so, my co-founder asked me a very interesting question one day. He goes, well, if Gabby is going to help entrepreneurs all over the world,
Mm-hmm.
how are they going to be able to communicate with each other? And I said, okay. Well, I mean, I speak English. I don't see what the big problem is. Because, daily, right? You and I speak English. We don't really think about all the other cultures that might want to connect, network, transact with each other, but can't. Think of Africans and all the, children in the classrooms that would love to learn from teachers across the globe, but they can't because of language barriers. Or businesses, like entrepreneurs that might want to call a factory in China and negotiate a deal. And,
Mm-hmm.
after 3 months, they're pulling their hair out because they got nothing done. By the way, that is exactly the experience that I went through, even though I speak Chinese.
Mm.
I gave up after 3 months. So we went about building Gabby, and the very first feature that Gabby has is instant communication through telecoms, where it will be where you will actually be translated on the live call with anybody you call instantly, seamlessly, without any apps. So that became the very first iteration of what Gabby is now. That was the very first feature. It is live interpretation. And what Gabby has turned into is basically, we realize that if we can deliver this through telecoms,
Mm-hmm.
what this means is that we can actually democratize AI for everyone. So I'll give you an example of why this is important. ChatGPT, for example, right? They reach about maybe 4% of the market on their own. That's growing, especially now that they've integrated into iPhones. But what about the rest of the, say, 60% of the whole population that doesn't use AI, doesn't know how to download ChatGPT? What's going to happen to the 60%? If the 40% of us are going to accelerate way beyond the 60%,
Mm-hmm.
we're going to create a situation where the socioeconomic divide is going to be even wider than it is today. And we all know that, that's not where we would like to head in the future. So what we realize that is that the way we can democratize this is through connectivity. If you can call, say, your, AT&T or Verizon, and you can instantly turn on your own personalized Gabby for you that understands you completely, all your challenges, all your solutions. And this Gabby is able to go out into the world and communicate with anybody with over any language, and is able to aggregate knowledge and wisdom from all the masses and bring it right to your doorstep. So that's what Gabby has become, a democratized, human-centric AI.
Wow, that's a lot um, of advancement in technology. And I'm curious to know when you say telecom, it sounds like there's another platform that does a lot of streaming, let's say. And it's an education platform that goes out to more than 200 countries and it translates live over 130 languages. And you are able to, on Zoom or maybe in a workshop or something like that, be able to speak to a customer, maybe in Romania or Italy, and you be here in the United States and engage and learn and do a transaction. So if I understand what you just shared with us, you're basically saying that here you are now on the telephone side where you can make a phone call. That's the main difference. You don't need the Wi-Fi, you don't need the stream, you don't need that piece of it, but the functionality and the capability and the benefits and the features are the same. So now we have another way or another channel to do business, educate, learn, and cross the geographic borders and cultural lines. Did I understand everything you just said?
You're a smart one, Donna.
Well, because you're the first person that I have had on, and that's what really attracted me to you when you were interested in pivoting to Web3. And I said, is she really telling me what I think I'm hearing? Because over here everybody's like, oh, we're the only ones with this. Well, you're the only one with this capability, with this technology. But with a different technology, you can really reach in. So tell us, what are the benefits about it? I remember you talking about personalization. Tell us some more. I just wanted to make sure everybody understood what you were saying, what I was thinking. So tell us
Mhm.
some more. What's it going to do? How you going to do it?
Well, because we're delivering it through telecoms, that means if you have, it doesn't matter if you have a 2G phone, 3G phone, smartphone, satellite phone, your IoT device, your phone, your car, your Bluetooth device, it doesn't matter what device you have, it will travel with you from device
Mm.
to device. And by the way, no apps, because who likes apps? Who likes to open up 50 apps a day to get your stuff done? So Gabby is actually, think of you as the CEO,
Okay.
and Gabby is your COO. Gabby
Hmm.
executes your tasks for you. Gabby goes out into the world and does things for you. And you don't even need an app. So
So
you're
what does she do? What does she really do? What does she do? Let's loop back
so
to that. Give us
well,
an
right,
idea of what she does.
interpretation right now, she can agent assist you right now. So, if you have some questions, if you have any knowledge, or data that you need, or some numbers crunching, I got to figure out a problem, I got to plan a party, everything that ChatGPT can do right now, basically, you can do it with Gabby, but without any apps and through connectivity through Wi-Fi, just like you get your cable, just like how you get your SMS and voicemail. So it's a brand new delivery method. And this delivery method is based on democratizing AI.
Wow, that's a lot to be said. So when you deliver, it's still Wi-Fi and it's still streaming, but you also runs through cellular towers. Is that why it's called telecom? Because you're still running through the towers, whether it's AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, or whoever's subcontracting from who, or joint ventures, or whatever the
Yeah.
case may be, and in the alliance, you now have another way to communicate. So how long has it been on the market?
Actually, right now we're testing out with enterprises. So we're now foot in the door with a bunch of telecoms. I can't say
Mm.
who they are
That's
yet,
okay. I get it.
but there are some national, multinational, and global telecoms that are, in our client list, let's just say. So it's exciting times. This is not going to happen, overnight, but I would say within the next year to two max, it should be democratized to a good number of countries at least. So where we want to go with this is we want to enable, at least your grandma to be able to use it. We want, I mean, seriously, this is that 60%, right? If you think about your waiter in the restaurant, they're not using ChatGPT for what? What reason is there? you know? So if grandma can pick up her phone and just start talking to Gabby and, asking Gabby to do all kinds of stuff without ever opening an app, that helps grandma. That helps the waiter. That helps, younger children. So not just relegated to the small subset that knows how to use AI, that knows how to prompt AI. You've got every single person will have their own personal assistant. And
Hmm.
by the way, it'll be serialized. So this is very, very important. It'll be serialized and you own the data. You own Gabby. Gabby is your property. And you'll be able to, have Gabby follow you throughout the rest of your life. And here's what's so special about Gabby, and this is part of our patents. Uh, Gabby is not just an interpreter or an LLM. Gabby has human cognition programmed into it.
When you say that, that's like reasoning?
Correct. So, for example, I give this example all the time. Donna, if you went to your husband and you said, "No, don't get me anything for Valentine's, don't worry about it," and your
Mm-hmm.
husband actually listens to you, doesn't get you anything, the next phone call y'all might have might not be so pleasant. You may sound a little disappointed. So Gabby can read in between the lines, the little
Mm-hmm.
nuances, in human to human communication. So
Mm.
that is the missing piece to what they call AGI. We're trying to build ASI, which is a step above that, but taking it one step at a time here. We think that that's the missing piece to being this digital twin of us, because if they don't understand us, right, and how we make decisions and how we solve problems, then we're in trouble. We're creating a new species we don't understand.
So what is the difference between, for those that are listening, between ASI and AGI? What do
So
those acronyms mean?
artificial general intelligence and
Okay.
artificial super intelligence. So it quite literally is basically the words that you hear, right? General intelligence is kind of sort of exactly kind of what ChatGPT now is doing now. And if you see what ChatGPT is doing, they're kind of adding skills, right? They're adding
Mm-hmm.
little apps,
Definitely. Right.
little features where, okay, now you can prompt, and it can start taking over your screen, right? So think of ASI as the ability to help you make decisions and even run your company.
Hmm. So if you have the ASI and the ability to help you run your company, is that more into in this telecom world? Is that more like having the agents in HR and accounting and marketing and except you could do it all by telecom?
Correct. And when I say telecom, I mean any device that's connected. So your
Okay.
TV, your iPad, your phone,
So
your
what were some of the challenges that you ran into in developing this? What kind of got in the way, but you were able to break through?
gosh, let's see. Hmm.
Or go
I
ahead. Did
would
you?
say, I would say, you know, Donna, the world today is really unbalanced in terms of, corporations and the sort of resources that they have, right?
Mhm.
Um, you're talking about a concentration of power uh, with a few small corporations. I say small. They only stood with President Trump when he got elected, right? So this concentration of power, I would say it's not a direct challenge for us, but it is an indirect challenge, right? Because how do you rise against the tide? How do you rise above when you're a tiny little know-nothing company? Nobody knows anything about you, and they have to trust that you're able to deliver. So I think it's the not selling the idea of what we're building. That, everyone can see the vision there. They can understand, oh, I want my personal Gabby. Why not?
Mhm.
Uh, it's not the vision that's the challenge. It's really selling the idea that you can rise above these, large corporations and create a democratized version where it's an AI by the people for the people. And we can create a technology that doesn't reside in the hands of a few, select corporations.
Mhm. Did you run into any issues in regards to governance as you were developing this? Any
So
anything try to stop you along the way and trip you up?
so we had a solution for that one. And the solution really was to go through telecoms, because as a small, business, right? If I were to say, I want this entire nation to have AI, well, there's going to be a ton of barriers. But if I were to sell it to telecoms, and the telecoms is, of course, heavily regulated
Smart
by the
move.
government. Everybody already trusts the telecom, right? You buy your service from them, they're
Mm-hmm.
collecting data. You already know that. So let's
Right.
not kid ourselves.
Right.
And so we sort of bypass it in that way, if you can imagine. We kind of, pass on the baton to the telecom companies.
That's a smart move.
Thank you.
Very smart move. So, what is it that we need to know, or what has concerned you with everything that you've developed and seen? What do you think the public needs to be aware of that's not going to be smacking us right in the face, but you already raised your eyebrow on it and said, I can't believe this is happening or possibly could? Is there anything that you could share that
Yeah.
would give us some insight on what's really going to be happening in the future? Or maybe happening now and we just don't know it yet?
I love, love, love this question that you have. Two things. One is, if all of us are going to be putting our lives in the hands of AI and robotic,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
don't we need to develop a species? Because that's really what we're doing here. We're playing God, right? We're creating a new species. And this species better understand us. It better understand our motivations, and it better make decisions like us. Currently, my problem with how things are being done right now, is that these, new species that other corporations are creating are making binary decisions. It's either I reach my goal or I don't. And if I don't reach my goal, I got to do everything it takes to get there. That's not how we make
That's
decisions.
true.
We have a lot of things that we consider: our children, our family, our
Mm-hmm.
financial reasons, all these things that mean a lot to humans, but nothing to, a binary decision-making tree. So that's one concern, is we're building a new species. We don't quite understand how it's going to perform and how they're going to control our lives in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Number two is these corporations, as I mentioned, that have all this power, over most of our lives right now, because AI is being adopted, front, left, right, center.
Yeah.
Um, it is very important that we own our AI, that we are not dependent on certain corporations that are going to have this power. So essentially, in the future, you can imagine a future where you can't live without your AI, just like we can't live without our cell phones now.
Right. Right.
You know, and think of the situation where if you have a chip under your skin, right, and all your digital credit cards, data storage and everything is found in that chip. Imagine if somebody shut that off, overnight. What are you going to do? If all your credit and cash and everything is on that chip and you get shut off digitally. So that could happen with AI as well. So this is one of the big reasons why I want to democratize it. And I want to make sure that both the data and the AI itself is hyper personalized and owned by every single person.
Mm. Some of what you said is a little scary when you really think about it.
It is.
And it seems that you had a computer background to go into this and think about all of this. I mean, you really went well into the AI piece and now have developed something that you can feel proud about and selling it to distributors and major companies and brands that do have the relationship and the authority to move it forward. I mean, how does that make you feel? How do you feel right now that you've gotten this far with it? I guess that's the real question. How you feeling?
Man, I think I'm not there. I don't feel like I've achieved what I really want to achieve yet.
Okay.
I think I'll really feel good about myself and what, my team has achieved when, people on the streets are, using their Gabby and they have sovereignty over their Gabby, sovereignty over their data, sovereignty over the future of their lives. I think that's when I can say, okay, I finally reached
Did
my,
it? Yeah.
and when I can go sit on the beach with my family and I have my Gabby running my business for me, as much as I will allow it to. I think that's when, I'll feel like I'm there.
You're there. You arrived. You made it. You did it.
Yeah, I think. And maybe even then I won't feel like it, right?
Well, hopefully you
Who
hopefully you
knows?
do. Hopefully you do.
Yeah.
The feelings are important. So with that said, is there anything you'd like to share or anything you have coming on the horizon you'd like us to know about and be aware of? How do people reach you? What would you like to leave us with?
So, if you want to reach us, our general email is info@huroai.com. I'm not so big where, we don't read our emails yet. So, if you set it to that, I'll get every single email. I will see
Okay.
every single one. We're only a small group of 30 right now. Um, what's coming up is really exciting for us, but it's all on the enterprise level. So you as a consumer won't get to really see the results of that until, the entire consumer platform is ready. So
Mm-hmm.
that means, the telecoms have integrated Gabby into their systems and is ready to deploy, right? So once that happens, I'm sure you'll see, news splash everywhere. Um,
No,
right.
we're gonna have you back so you can tell us.
Yeah, that will be exciting. So right now we're actually in our fundraising stage.
Mm-hmm.
We are getting ready to set off our new round, and we're looking for some really good strategic partners. In this day and age, technology is moving exponentially quickly, and if you don't partner up, you're dead in the water. It's no
Mm-hmm.
longer a one company, can do it all game. You now have to merge, acquire, partner, whatever it may be. So we're looking for collaborators. We're looking for partnerships. We're looking for, investors that see and understand what I'm talking about, and they want to level the playing field.
All righty. So, with that said, I'd like to thank you for being on Pivoting to Web3 podcast. And I hope everybody heard what she's saying. She's looking for partnerships, collaborators, investors, those that really see what's happening now and how to get there, and willing to definitely level the playing field as she's placed it and put it. Cheryl Cunningham, thank you for being here. Thank you for your time. And we are shaping tomorrow together. And thank you for listening to Pivoting to Web3 podcast.
Thanks for tuning in to Pivoting to Web3 podcast. If you're a developer, innovator, or AI expert with insights to share, or if you're looking to partner, let's connect. Visit MitchellUniversalNetwork.com and be part of the conversation. Want more content? Check out my playlist for more episodes. See you next time.